Hi friends, Miss Christie here, and I am so excited to be together again cooking in the kitchen. Today we are learning how to make a fruit and yogurt parfait. This quick breakfast or snack uses just 4 ingredients and it's no bake. We layer a few things into a glass and enjoy. We're gonna have fun making this together today, and I'm so glad you're here. Now, the first step to cooking and working in the kitchen is to wash our hands. While I wash my hands with soap and warm water for at least 20 seconds, let's go over the ingredients and supplies that you'll need to gather to cook along today. The ingredients you'll need are half a cup of vanilla yogurt, 3 large strawberries, 1/4 cup of blueberries, and 1/4 cup of granola. The supplies you'll need are a cutting board, 1 large glass, 1/4 cup dry measuring cup, 1 tablespoon, a spoon, and a butter knife. Okay, great. Your hands are clean and my hands are clean. We've gathered our ingredients and supplies, so let's get started putting together our fruit and yogurt parfait. It's summertime right now where I am, and this is just a great, refreshing either breakfast or snack that we can learn to make really quickly for ourselves. So the first thing you'll want to do is, again, have a cutting board because we're gonna cut up some strawberries. So have your cutting board in front of you, and then go ahead and grab your glass that we had in the supply list. This is actually where we're going to layer our parfait. So just gonna have this next to you to get ready to put our strawberries into. And then go ahead and grab your butter knife and your strawberries. Now, I'm using a butter knife because it will cut our strawberries, but if you're more comfortable using a sharper knife, by all means you can do that. However, a butter knife does just fine, so I'm going to use that today. It's a bit safer. And now all I'm going to do is cut up one of my strawberries. So we have 3 large strawberries because we're going to do 3 different layers. So I'm going to grab 1 strawberry and just with my fingers holding it, cut the top off because we're not going to use where the green leaves are. And then basically you're just gonna cut this into a bite-sized pieces. So whatever that looks like for you, usually I will cut my strawberry in half and then cut my half in half and then just make some chunks. Okay. Same thing with the other side. I'll cut my half right down the middle, then turn it sideways, and then I'm just going to cut some pieces. Really, you just need bite-sized pieces of strawberry because we're gonna put that in the bottom of our glass. So 1 strawberry cut up goes in the bottom of your glass. Keep your strawberries nearby. Again, we're gonna do some layers, so everything we're gonna use twice. Next, you'll want to grab your 1/4 cup dry measuring cup. It says 1/4, and then go ahead and grab whatever yogurt you are using. Now, I'm using just a regular vanilla yogurt. If you choose to do a different flavor like strawberry, blueberry, whatever is your favorite type of yogurt you can use, whether it's Greek yogurt, regular yogurt. This is very customizable, so once we have the basic recipe, use what you like. So I'm just going to grab my yogurt here, pop it open, and I'm just gonna take my 1/4 cup, this is the easiest way I've found, and scoop out 1/4 cup of yogurt. Okay, and then I'm also going to grab my spoon from the supply list, and I'm just going to get this in my glass. Now, if it gets on the sides, not a big deal. If you want it to look super pretty, go ahead and try your best to just try to get it right in the middle. But we are just layering this fruit and yogurt parfait. So we've put 1/4 cup in. This ingredient list calls for 1/2 cup because we're gonna do 2 1/4 cups. So 1/4 plus 1/4 equals 1/2. But because I want layers, I'm only using 1/4 for the first layer, and I will use 1/4 for the second layer. So just spreading my yogurt down a little bit to cover up my strawberries. Keep these next to you along with your yogurt. Again, we're gonna use all of these ingredients a few times. Now we're going to add our blueberries. So grab your 1 tablespoon, it says 1 TBSP, and then grab your blueberries. And we are gonna put 2 tablespoons of blueberries right on top of our yogurt. So I'm just gonna scoop out 1 tablespoon, pop them in, and 2 tablespoons. Now, if your blueberries are huge, some of my blueberries are really big, you could always cut these in half if you wanted an extra step. if you don't want such big pieces in there, but for now I'm just gonna pop these in. So this is my 2nd tablespoon. Okay, keep your blueberries near you. Keep this near you because we're actually going to use it for our granola. So the same 1 tablespoon, grab your granola, and we are going to do 2 tablespoons of granola right on top of our blueberries. Now, whatever granola you like, you could definitely use. We've also had an episode on how to make homemade granola, so you could always go out and make that and add this to your parfait. Or you can buy store-bought, which is what I have today. I'm just going to scoop out 1 tablespoon, sprinkle it right on top of my blueberries, and 2 tablespoons right on top of my blueberries. All right, and now we're just basically gonna do all of that again. So we're just doing a layer for our parfait. So the next step I'm going to do is once again, grab a strawberry, grab my butter knife that we just used, and we're gonna cut it into a bite-sized piece. So I'm gonna cut my strawberry down the middle, cut it down the middle again, make some bite-sized pieces, cut my half in half, cut it in half again. Keep your butter knife near you. We'll use it one more time. All right, pop these strawberries in on top of your granola layer. Same thing now, we just need to do our yogurt again. So I'm gonna grab the same 1/4 dry measuring cup that we used before, scoop out 1/4 cup of yogurt, pop that right in. So I'll grab my spoon again and carefully pour it over my strawberries. Try to push it around so we get a full layer. Scrape out all that yogurt. This is the last of the yogurt that we'll use, so I want as much in there as possible. And now if you choose to use like a Greek yogurt, it'll be a little bit more thick, so just keep that in mind as you're spreading it out. All right, from here, you can put your 1/4 tablespoon to the side, or dry measuring cup to the side. Keep your spoon. You can put your yogurt away. We are done using that. I'll pop this over here. All right, now we just need to do our layers of blueberry and granola. So our 1 tablespoon, 1 TBSP, it's the only one like this that we're using today. I'm gonna grab my blueberries, and again, we're gonna do 2 tablespoons of blueberries. So here's 1 tablespoon. Here are 2 tablespoons. Fill it up. Put your blueberries to the side. We are done using that. Now we need to add our granola. Now again, if you make this and feel comfortable with it, you really don't have to measure out these ingredients. I like to measure them to know that I have enough of what I need in my kitchen in order to make this. But once you make it again, you can just sprinkle in some strawberries, blueberries, granola. You don't necessarily have to take the time to measure unless you're like me and you like measuring it out. So I've got my granola here. I'm using the same 1 tablespoon that we just used for our blueberries. Put 2 tablespoons of granola right on top of my blueberries. All right, now you can put your tablespoon to the side. We are done using that. You can put any extra granola you have away. And now for our final layer is this last strawberry. So we had 3 strawberries. I'm going to use the last of it. Same thing with my butter knife that we have on our supply list. Just cut the top off. Carefully watching your fingers because the butter knife could still cut you. Cut my strawberry in half. Cut the half in half and make some pieces. Or if you cut, however you cut your strawberry too. If you like more slices than chunks, go ahead and slice your strawberry, whatever you prefer. I always say that's the joy of cooking for yourself in the kitchen. You can make it however you would like. So I've got my last strawberry here. I'm just going to pop this on top. You can go ahead and put your butter knife away because we are done using that. I've got my spoon that I've already used to spread out my yogurt, so this is what I can use to eat it. But there we go. This is, how pretty is this? And it's so refreshing. It's great for summertime. We only used 4 ingredients, and we've now made ourselves this quick no-bake breakfast or snack that you have now learned to make for yourself. So I do hope you try and make it or try and make it again. And when you do, let me know how it goes. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you have any questions. You can even send me a picture of how your fruit and yogurt parfait turned out. I would love to get to see your creation, and maybe we can share it next week. Now, speaking of next week, on next week's episode, which is episode 94, we are learning how to make homemade chocolate pudding. This fun, sweet treat uses just 5 ingredients, and we only have to pop it in our microwave for a few minutes. We don't even need our stovetop, and we have ended up making homemade chocolate pudding for ourselves. In order to cook along and make homemade chocolate pudding, these are the ingredients that you'll need to have in your kitchen for next week. 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, 2½ tablespoons of cocoa powder, 1½ tablespoons of cornstarch, 1 cup of milk, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Well, friends, our time together today is almost over. I do hope you've enjoyed learning how to make our fruit and yogurt parfait. I know I had fun, and I already can't wait to cook together again next time. But before you say goodbye to this episode, make sure to click subscribe if you haven't already. You just have to click the little picture of me in the corner. That way you don't miss next week's episode. It'll be out on Friday, and I'll see you then. Bye, friends. Grab your spoon. It's time to eat.